Alright guys, time for a quick little test ride walk around video of this BMW F650GS. So I'm going to just try and answer all of the most frequently asked questions because this bike's been for sale for a few weeks now and I get the same questions over and over. And start it, just push the button. Starts up nice and easy. First question I get the most is, if it's a F650GS, why does the ad say that it's an 800cc? And that's because it is an 800cc. And then people ask, has it been upgraded? No, it's stock motor. Basically, I think around 2007, BMW changed the motor in the F650, but they kept the name just to confuse people. So there's an F800GS. It has bigger suspension, more off-road oriented stuff. They wanted to have the bigger size name. They wanted the F650 name to indicate that it's a still relatively beginner-friendly, intermediate to advanced bike that you can ride at any level, basically. So they kept the F650 name. But yeah, I think from 2007 up, the F650s are all 800cc parallel twins. Pretty much the same motor that you find in the F800GS, except for they changed the camshaft a little bit. But 800cc motor, so that explains that, hopefully. Second question. Why am I riding around the cemetery? Well, why is this person lying there in the cemetery? I'm not really sure. But there's security, so don't know what that's about. Next question says there's a little service light on. What does that mean? Means it needs service? No, not really. It's actually just been serviced, brand new brake fluid in there. Essentially, you need a BMW dealer tool to reset that. And if you don't reset that, I think every, I don't know, 8,000 kilometers or so, or whatever it is for the oil change, it'll just pop up to remind you to change your oil, to bring it to the dealer. But obviously, this is a very easy bike to work on. You can work on it yourself. You don't have to bring it to the dealer. So yeah, I'll show you also all the bits and components, as well as where the oil drain plug and the oil filters are. There's lots of how-to videos on YouTube for how to look after this thing. Overall, super easy bike to ride, super fun. You have all kinds of computer info. You can see like your odometer, trip meter, what gear you're in, what your average cruising speed is, what your average fuel consumption is, what your current fuel consumption is. Personally, I don't care for any of that stuff, but for you guys who are into it, or if you're doing a longer trip, which is definitely something this bike is good at, that stuff's good to know. It's good to kind of know what sort of economy you're getting. If you're doing a long trip away from town, you can kind of budget, you can kind of figure out where your rest breaks are going to be. Overall, not something that here, you know, living in the city, I need to worry about too much, but good to know. Can it go off-roading? Yes, absolutely, it can go off-roading. Right now, it's kind of probably got a 60-40 on-road, maybe like a 70-30 on-road, off-road tires. You can put whatever tires on there are going to best fit your riding style. The front tire is pretty much brand new, but the back tire, I would probably replace it. I was planning on replacing it, but I bought the newer version of this bike, the F750GS, instead. So now whoever is going to buy it can match the tires to whatever kind of pavement they want to be riding on, or lack of pavement they want to be riding on. Handling the bike is super easy, and there's a lot of reasons for that. One, BMW has been perfecting the GS for decades now. The second one is, I think it has like a nice 110 front tire diameter, so it's nice, kind of not super skinny, but skinny enough front tire that you can really lead it nice and easy. Watch out for the squirrel. Watch out for the squirrel. Watch out for the... Okay, bye. And the third reason is they do a lot of stuff that makes it a much smarter bike than some of the competitors out there, the cheaper Japanese ones. I won't say names. So for example, in front of me is not my fuel tank, because fuel is heavy. You don't want fuel up high on a motorcycle, or it makes it have a top heavy feel. You want fuel down low. So the fuel tank is actually not in front of me, it's underneath my butt. And because they put the fuel underneath the seat, obviously it becomes a bike which is center of gravity much lower, so it feels like it handles, and it does handle much nicer. Feels a lot lighter. Lifting it off the center stand is a lot lighter, which is great for your everyday handling, but it's also great for you know, at the start of your trip on a long day's touring, it doesn't really make a huge difference. But man, once it's like you've been out there for like 4 hours a day riding, lifting the bike off the side stand, you're so tired from the wind, you know, just hitting you, and you can get a bigger windscreen. Actually, I have a bigger windscreen edition for that. It's included with the bike. You can get that bigger windscreen, it'll take it off. The point is, you're going to be tuckered out after like 3 or 4 hours riding, and having a bike that doesn't feel so heavy to lift off the stand, isn't so top heavy, not only is it better when you're handling every single curve, you'll feel a lot lighter, a lot more confident, a lot easier to handle and manage, but you'll also just, yeah, lifting off the center stand, or side stand, I mean, is just so much easier when your center of gravity is down low. Speaking of center stand, this does not come with that, but you can get aftermarket ones for as little as like $100 on Alibaba. Are they going to rust after 5 years? If you buy the $100 one instead of the $200 one, probably, but after 5 years, maybe you're ready to upgrade anyway, so yeah, that's what I would do. As you can currently see, we're averaging 5 liters per 100 kilometers. I think usually this will average about 7 liters per 100 kilometers when you're actually like on the highway ringing it, which is still amazing. I'll put on miles per gallon what that is on the screen. Great bike, super easy. I can ramble my ass off and ride it and not even think twice, because it's so nimble, easy to handle. Very beginner friendly. The seat height is something interesting about this bike. So this has a factory lowered kit on it or whatever. So that makes the seat height is around between 28 to 29 inches, which is really interesting because your average cruiser is around like 25, 26 inch seat height. So for those people who think, oh, I'm a shorter rider, so I better get a cruiser, no, you have other options that you can ride where you'll still be able to get your feet on the ground. This is a great option. I'm 5'11", 5'10", I'm still comfortable on it. I think this is okay up to maybe 6'1". I think if you're over 6'1", I'd probably tell you, even though I want you to sell you the bike, I want you to be comfortable. I think if you're 6'1 plus, we'll call it 6'2 and up, don't bother with this bike. 6'1 and under, you'll be just fine. This thing's an absolute breeze to ride. Motor sounds pretty decent. You can get aftermarket pipes for as little as like $250 if you want, shipped to your door. Check out eBay for the best prices. I know this because I had a whole shopping cart full of things I was going to do with this bike, but I need to make some space in the garage, so yeah. Alright, let's do a little walk around. So kickstand, easy to get access to. Again, BMW's been making GS's for like decades now, so they got it down packed. Yes, the lights are correct when you have your high beam on. I think you'll have both of them. For just low beam, you'll have the 2 bulbs in there. Hopefully you guys can see. I don't know what's in the frame right now. Yes, it does have the beak. Some people love the beak. Some people think it's ugly. I think it's great. You got the normal fender plus a fender little extra bit here. That's going to stop any mud spray from getting onto your motor, which is a good thing. There is your, what's it called? Oil filter. So again, super easy to access. You can get a tool right in there. This is your I'm just gonna call it sun protector, bash plate, whatever they're called, skid guard, whatever. Yeah, it comes with the bike. It also has the extra extension. Oh, that'll just keep your bike safe if you're going over any bumps or anything. This is the extra extender, which just makes it a little bit easier to apply your brakes if you're going to be riding stand on the pegs when you're doing your off-roading. The bags are included. Those are worth a pretty penny. They are also expandable. So if this looks too small, don't worry, they get bigger. I'll show you in a second. Again, brake fluid front and back was recently changed. You have normal turn signals and LED brake light. Single exhaust. Again, if you want to go louder, you can do for like $250 shipped to your door. You can get a new slip-on pipe. And yeah, high beam, low beam. Okay. And we got turn your ABS on and off if you hold it for 3 seconds. I think now it's off. Hold it for 3 seconds, now it's back on again. This is a power adapter. BMW uses a special type. You can get an adapter to go to USB to charge up your phone. I think they're like $15 on Amazon, not a big deal. Turn signals, I'll show you that they all work. You do have heated grips, so you have a off, lower, medium, high, and kill switch obviously works as well. And I'll just kill that to show you a few more things. I have a screen guard here, or a light guard here, so any rocks that hit it aren't going to do any damage. I have a little extender bit that's going to make this even taller to give you more air protection. Summertime, hot days, if you're just in the city, you might want to leave it off like I have. What else? Your fork seals are nice and mint. They're not leaking or nothing. There's no leaks or any signs of oil or anything, or weeping or anything, or sweating anywhere on the motor. Looks super clean. Suspension you can adjust front preload, sorry, rear preload, not the front. For the bags, these are really cool. I really like them. Check this out. So open, yellow tab, push down, opens up. And if this isn't big enough, no problem. Check this out. Now your bags are bigger. So you got that. Same thing with here. Have a lot of crap in this, so it might be kind of hard to do. Comes with a cover. Comes with everything you see in here. Ooh. Bigger. Easy. So now it's taller. And this one is already, I think, in its bigger position. But same idea. I'll show you how to make it smaller then, I guess. Oh no. Yeah, so make it smaller, you just lift it the other way. And now you have a much smaller bike. So I think if you're going to be going around the city, you can keep it in the small size and still be nimble enough to lane split. And if you're going to be touring, you can put it in the big size and you're good. And I really like that they really make the most of all of the space on the bike. So I think that's good. Oh, there you go. That just popped right back in place. Easy to get access to underneath the seat. Just pop your key in there, whatever. To get to the battery, it's going to be right underneath this. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts. And it's going to be right in there. And underneath this seat, they actually have the toolkit is still intact. Everything original is there. And if you're like, how do I get these bags off of my bag or off of my bike? I want to make it as lean as possible. You can actually do that in like 2 seconds, which is great for if you're going to be, you know, bombing around town, you don't need all this stuff, or if you want to just bring stuff in the hotel with you on your touring trips, you just press this release thing up, press this up, and it comes off that easy. It's got a little briefcase holder right there. So that's pretty snazzy. Line it up, put it in the hole, put the red tab down, put this red tab down. Now it's back on securely, not going anywhere. Same thing obviously on these ones. This one's a little bit trickier. I haven't actually tried this one yet. So red tab, assuming it works the same. Let's find out. Red tab, and it's off. And then you line that back up in the holes. Okay, lined up, red tab up, down, red tab down, and now it's not going anywhere. So that's all I can think to show you guys. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. If you have any questions, let me know. If you're wondering if a GS that you're looking at, an F650, because the older ones will be 650 singles, the newer ones, like I said, will be 800s. Easy way to tell if it's in F650, 650 single or a 650 twin. The twins will have the 2 exhausts. I mean, aesthetically you'll know by looking at the headlight. But if you're on the fence or if there's not a clear picture of the headlight, because some people don't take good pictures of their bikes for sale, look for 2 exhausts. If it's got 2 exhausts, it's a twin, 800 cc's. It's got 1 exhaust, it's a single, 650 cc's. So yes, this is a 2800, even though it says F650. Look up any review on a 2009 F650GS and you'll see what I mean, and you'll see all of the journalists also complain about why has BMW made things so complicated. It is what it is. You can comfortably cruise all day long at 140. It's a great motor. I liked my 650 single so much that I had to buy this bike, and I like this bike so much that I had to buy a newer one of the same bike. So now I've got 3 BMWs, all GSs, and yeah, I love this bike. I wouldn't hesitate to recommend it to anybody, unless you are over like 6'2" or over, in which case I'd say don't get this one. Get the actual F800, same motor but a little bit bigger ergonomics. But if you're under 6 foot especially, you will absolutely love this bike. Switch that to middle. Easy starts every time. Let's get out of here. Catch that nice sunset in the cemetery. Great big gear indicator. I like the upright ergonomics. You could sit here like this on this bike all day long. I did a road trip to Quebec City on a GS just 2 months ago. It was awesome. Easy to throw all of your stuff in the luggage, bring it in the hotel with you. If you've been thinking about doing a road trip, dreaming about doing a road trip on a bike, this is a perfect motorcycle for it, for your first road trip especially, because it is so beginner friendly and light and your feet are easily touching the ground. See, there's my other 2 GSs. I absolutely love them. Would not hesitate to recommend this to anybody. looking for their first adventure or touring motorcycle. Oh, and the only thing I didn't mention, if you hit the left turn signal and the right turn signal at the same time, it'll give you hazard lights, which is, 99% of the time, you will never even think about that. But the 1% of the time where, I don't know, you get caught in a downpour or something, and you can just hit those hazards and everybody just knows you're having a hard time, they can go around you. So nice to have. Yeah. If you have any questions, let me know. Ride safe, guys. Peace.